Hey guys, it's Watch Rambler. Today I am going to do a review of a watch I've been meaning to do for a little bit now. This is one of my favorite watches, I'd say. This is the Longines HydroConquest. So this is the HydroConquest automatic watch. I am going to review it, but I'm going to have a slightly different take on it. I do not have it on its stainless steel band, but I do have the band, so I will show you the band as well. I have it on a leather strap, which I actually prefer, but let me show you the watch. So first things first, this is upside down. So here you can see this is the model. It's L36424966. MSRP is $12.75. Realistically, you could probably pick one of these up for around $1,000, give or take a little bit, but I think it's well worth it, and I will talk about why. So, without further ado, let's pull this out. So inside the case, you can see there's a fairly meaty manual. I haven't even opened it, to be honest, but it doesn't really have that many complex operations, so I feel like we can figure it out. But here is the box. It comes in a nice box. You know, I really don't use the box for anything now except to store the band in it, the stainless steel strap. I pretty much took it off right after I got it. I am going to show you the stainless steel strap first. I actually have the stainless steel strap off of the watch. The reason why I did that is because it's really hard to take off and put back on, but it's mainly because of this piece here. So when this piece sits up firmly against the watch, you can actually see it here on the video. I'll show you, or on the website. So do you see how it sits flush? This flush appearance is a very good fit. I mean, it's like it was machined and then laser etched out of there. Like it's a very tight fit, but thinking about how you pop out the bars, I mean, in order to do that, you actually need to slide your tool in this small space and then free the spring bar and then kind of pull it towards you a little bit. So if it's like this, you pull it towards you, and that's because these are kind of catch clasps that will catch onto the back of it, so that it does not easily come off. So if you have this on the stainless steel band, I mean, that thing is sturdy. And so that's the main thing that's hard to get it off. So you actually have to pop it on one side, and then at the same time, I had to take another tool on the other side and try to pull them both simultaneously towards me. So if you guys have any questions about that, you can let me know. I could actually post a video of that, but here is the stainless steel strap, or a stainless steel bracelet. It does have a nice clasp here. If you can see this is works really well. Like I said, I only use it for a day. I worry about a lot of desk rash, so I try not to use the bracelets too much. I do like the look of the bracelet. It's just that you know, like I said, I sit at a desk a lot, and then I'm constantly moving around, and I could actually end up rubbing this on the desk, and so I want to try to keep it in better condition. And that's the only reason why I don't really put it on. But I didn't put it on for this video just simply for the fact that it's very difficult to take on and off. So let's get to the watch. Okay, so before I do that, let me do a quick wrist check. So this is my Citizen bullhead. Oh man, I love this watch. This is an amazing watch. It's an automatic from the 70s. And this one is actually fairly famous because it has a flyback. I'll show you the flyback real quick. If you start the timer, then you can either stop the timer, or actually I just did the flyback, but so you actually saw the flyback movement. So here you could stop the timer if you want and then reset it back at 0, or you can start it and then kind of like a lap timer, you can just tap it and then it flies back and starts immediately up again. So cool, so smooth. This thing works perfectly. Really like it. Picked it up from a great guy, and he was nice enough to make a good deal with me, and I'm loving it. So it's on a, I have this on a leather band, which works quite well with this watch. I think it adds a perfect amount of flair. Makes it a little dressier, which I like. I use this one for work, and I like it. I think it works out quite well. All right, so let's actually get on to the Longines. So the Longines is right here. So this is the watch in question. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Let's just take it out of the case. In here I just have links, so these are extra band links, and then you just see the MSRP tag. But here is the watch. You can see it has this beautiful blue dial. It's a sunburst dial. I absolutely love that dial. I'm gonna post some photos of it out in the sun because I think you have to have a good sun shot in order to fully appreciate this watch. And here you can see the watch in the environment. Like when the sun hits it, I mean, it just looks amazing. I mean, such a beautiful watch. I think that's why I like it so much. As you can see, it's on a leather strap. This leather strap I had made through Scrap Straps. I'm going to post some photos of it before it was on the watch, but they did an awesome job. Alright, here I've got to give a plug for Scrap Straps. You can find them on Facebook. This is the strap that they did. You can see the blue stitching with this great keeper that they put on there. Here you can see the red accents and the blue leather underneath, and some more of the red accents with this great looking buckle. Once again, it's Scrap Straps. You can find them on Facebook. What they did was we discussed it. We discussed the actual watch. I discussed with him the idea of having something with blue. And so he suggested this navy blue stitching, which I think works quite well. And then also he suggested this black kind of painted edge. We were going to do a standard kind of rough edge similar to this here on the keeper. But we did not, because we ended up doing, he suggested going with a, I don't know if you can actually see that, but it's a blue leather on the bottom, which I think looks great, and it complements the watch quite well. But he also added these great red accents, and these accents I think do an awesome job, because if you notice, the second hand has a little red tip, so it's just a little touch of red, which is great. So that red kind of actually makes it pop. Really like it. But if you are looking for a strap, he made this one for me in about 4 days. It was $80 and totally worth it. Makes the watch, I think. But anyway, so the watch, it does have a stainless steel case. It has a unidirectional stainless steel bezel with a blue aluminum top ring. So this ring, it's a little dark, but you can see that it's this blue, and it's a aluminum top ring. I don't know if you can hear that, but I think it sounds awesome. Some people say it sounds a little hollow. You know, I think that's personal preference. I actually think it sounds pretty good, and it feels nice. So, you know, I like it. I think that I don't really use it that often unless I'm timing a pizza for the oven or something, but probably not what it was originally designed for, but it works great. So some other facts about this: it does have the silver tone hands, and then it has the silver tone Arabic numerals. It has the date at the 3 o'clock. And then if you notice, the Arabic numerals are only at 6, 9, and 12. And I actually think that adds a nice balance to the watch. So you don't have too much going on with that's weighted on the left side of the watch with these numerals. You know, so the date does kind of balance that a little bit. There is lume, as you can see on each of these points. There's also lume on the hands and then on the bezel. So here you can see the watch has great lume. We had 6, 9, 12, the hour markers, the minute hand, the hour hand, and at the triangle point of the bezel. As you can tell, the lume looks great, works quite well. I wear my watches to bed. You know, I think everybody has a little different take on that. Most people probably take their watches off. I wear them to bed because, you know, as I get a little older, I might make a few more bathroom stops than I did in my heyday, and it's always nice to know what time it is and how much longer I have to sleep. So, some other facts about this: it has an automatic movement. It has the Longines Calibre L36424966, which is a Swiss movement, and you can actually see it does say Swiss made here as well. Automatic 30 bar or 300 meter depth, which is pretty amazing. You know, some people, I've read controversies about, you know, oh, what's the water resistance that you need to have in order to go swimming with your watch. I don't think there are many people out there that are going to need more than 300 meters of depth. So, and it does have a screw down crown, which is pretty handy. I mean, obviously you wouldn't have that kind of depth without a screw down crown, so it should be kind of a no-brainer. It does have a stainless steel back, which is a closed back. I think it actually looks kind of cool. It's the Longines logo. Shows the HydroConquest. You know, I'm a fan of showcase windows on the back as well. But you know, I can appreciate a good sturdy case back. And I think, you know, anytime you're looking for extreme depth with a watch, it's helpful to have a solid case back. So. Couple other things about this: it does have an anti-reflective sapphire crystal. If you notice, I've got this really annoying light that's shining, and it still does a fairly good job of reflecting that light. It does have this sunburst blue dial, and the case diameter, it's 41 millimeters in diameter. And let's take a look. I'm not actually sure what it is to the crown, so let's take a look. So looks like it's about to the crown. Let me get a good measurement here so you can see it. So about 45 millimeters to the crown. So you know, it's a good size watch, but it doesn't look too big. And it's actually, I like 41. I'm a big fan of 40 to 42 millimeters in size. I think once you get much larger than that, unless it's a really nice fitting case, it can look a little large. On my wrists especially, I mean, some people can wear those quite well, but I have a 7 to 7.25 inch wrist, and you know, with that, it's just you know, I can't support much more than a 42 without, you know, making it look a little bit like my arm is mostly watch, and then there's a little bit of arm that's popping out of my sleeve. But so the band length of the stainless steel band that it comes with is 8 inches. So if you do have a thicker, or you know, kind of a thicker wrist, then you can actually rock that band, you know, up to 8 inches. It does have the deployment clasp, which we covered. The main functions of this are pretty standard. Once again, you have the date, you have the minutes, hours, and second hand. Then you have the rotating bezel. And then the price point on this, which I really like, I mean, this is about $1,000. So, you know, I mean, you can pay a little bit more or a little bit less, all depending on the deal that you get. But I feel like this is kind of an homage to the Submariner. But you know, the thing is like, it's not very thick. You know, the Submariner I actually think is a kind of a thicker watch. And so this is not that thick, which really works well for me. I'll show you here. Let's see, where did I set my calipers? So let's take a look at the overall case thickness. So as you can tell, here it's about I guess it's closer to 12 inches thick. So I mean, that's, or 12 millimeters, sorry, I said 12 inches, but 12 millimeters thick, which is really, I mean, it's got a really slim profile. So it fits great, it wears great. Now the downside of this thing, so let's talk about the lugs. So the lugs are curved, which is nice. So it does wrap around the wrists, you know, so it sits fairly nicely. And lug to lug, we're looking at roughly, let's take a look here. So lug to lug, we have approximately 48 millimeters. Maybe a little bit bigger. It's probably closer to about 50 millimeters. So 50 millimeters lug to lug, but here's really where the kind of bummer comes in. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's 21 millimeters at the for the band. So the bandwidth is 21 millimeters. You know, I don't really know why watch companies do that. I mean, a 21 millimeter band is just not as easy to find as a 20 or 22. I will say these straps are 22. So one of the things that you can do, obviously you couldn't do this with stainless steel, but you know, if you have a leather band, or you get a strap like a NATO strap or something like that, then you can actually put this, you can put a slightly larger one on. I actually pressed this a little bit before I tried to slide it in, and then it actually fits really well. It's definitely snug though, I will say, but it works pretty well. And then, you know, the nice thing too is you don't have any gap. So I don't know, maybe that's why they do it, because if you're going to put on a leather strap, there's going to be no gap and it gets a nice firm connection. Because I'm not really a huge fan if you actually have a gap between the lug and the band or the strap. But I don't know, I think that they just decided that they wanted based on the size of the overall watch, they decided to go with odd numbers. I mean, it's a 41 millimeter case, and then it's a 21 millimeter, you know, band. I don't know, whatever. But I still love it. So let's put it on. Let me take off the bully here. I'll set that over here, and let's put this guy on so you can see actually how it wears. Oh, had it right the first time. All right, so there you have it. So this is the watch. Like I said, I think it sits really well. It's got a nice profile. I'm a fan of having a slightly more snug watch, so I don't really, you know, have a lot of movement with mine, so I don't let them slide a lot. It doesn't move too much, but it fits really well, and I just think it's a beautiful dial. I mean, just a beautiful watch overall, and I would recommend it. I'd also recommend scrap straps. Really good combo there. So let me know what you think. If you guys have any questions about the watch, if you guys have any questions about, you know, why I prefer this watch to other watches, and you know, why I've been using this watch. This actually has gotten a lot of wrist time lately. I've worn it for the last 3 days straight, which is actually pretty unusual for me. Usually I'll wear a watch for maybe a day, sometimes half a day, all depending on what I've got going on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave feedback down below. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you watch additional videos. And let me know if you have any questions or you'd like to see anything in particular. All right, thanks so much, and happy watching out there.